Hey, energy party people. Welcome to, that's right, another, dare I say, magical episode of Magic Mondays. I'm your hostess, so counterintuitive, Colleen McCann, author and energy healer. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm playing with the new intro. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I know I always jump in too fast before people have a chance to jump on the show. Anyway, good story, bro. And let's see. Oh, the lovely uh, Yvonne Andes. Oh, Yvonne, I was thinking about you this weekend, and but I'll message you later. Yeah. So, well, welcome to a new week. I have a what's the term? Gazillion things on my mind, so bear with me. I've made a few notes to help me out a little bit. Ooh, okay, Blanca, I was thinking about you yesterday. Hi, I'm glad to see you. I have questions for you that are still unanswered. So get on it, Blanca. Okay, I'm glad you're here. And Yvonne says, okay. Yeah, so, well, welcome. And let's go ahead and we're going to smudge this space real quick before I go into anything. And let's play my beautiful theme song, care of Artica Productions. Here we go.
You are magic, magic. We are magic. Magic Mondays with Colleen.
Okay. Yeah, so welcome whether you're watching live or in the future. Yeah, so many things going on. Woo! I hope you are having a lovely week so far. Um, the weather's kind of gorgeous and perfect here. Shocker, that's what people pay so much money to live in Southern California for. Um, yeah. So Dave and I just did ultimately 4 days of, we'll just say, immersive training. And I'm so grateful that we got to do it virtually and didn't have to drag our asses to another city and stay in a hotel and deal with food and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so more work with Mary Morrissey, who, yeah, I go where I'm led. And there are just times in my life where I'm just like, whoa, I need this. Um, yeah. And it's just, I'm so grateful to be involved with her organization. And I just know it's a really, yeah, vital next step for Dave and I. And, I'm not going to try to describe her work. You can see her on YouTube all over the place, but because she's been doing this for a gazillion years, she's 75. I love how many women in my life are 70, in their 70s somewhere. It just makes me extra excited about my 70s when I get there. And yeah, but with Mary Morrissey, well, her organization is called the Brave Thinking Institute. So it's all about thinking differently. And it is not easy, but so worth it. And then when you see the magic behind thinking differently and how powerful our thoughts are, whoa, whoa. Yeah. So we did a whole bunch of 4 full days of that this weekend. So that was really cool. So I'm integrating. Yeah, integrating a lot of information. Anyway, so I have my new intro. It's a countdown of 30 seconds. I don't know if anybody saw it, but I'm playing with it. But so StreamYard, this is so boring, but here we go. StreamYard, where I do this from, well, I do it from our house, but the streaming platform, whatever, it allows me to go to different places at the same time. And I just got an email saying that next month the fee is going to go up, I think more than 4 times. So I'm having kind of an issue with that. I've been paying $10 a month, which I know is a steal. So, yeah, and if anybody has any input on like, well, if you just happen to know, like, well, 40 something dollars, that's pretty good for a streaming platform. I'm thinking I'm gonna do things differently because yeah, I think there has to be a better way. Anyway, but that being said, with this with the new upgraded whatever StreamYard platform, it's given me the option to like just schedule so I don't even have to be bothered, schedule my intro and my outro. And so I played with one that was a countdown for 30 seconds. Okay, story over, but seriously, if you know of a platform that you love and it's more reasonably priced, let me know. Anywho, um, so Blanca, I don't know what you're saying here. You just say looking forward to my 70s, but with three laughing hysterically faces. Yeah, well, when I was in my 20s, yeah, it might sound weird. I mean, I keep wanting to say I'm 59. I'll be 59 in February, which sounds weird, but whatever. But ever since my 20s, it's in the book, I wanted to be 42. Like since my early 20s, I just decided somehow that that was my magic age. So I was real excited to get to my 40s, which I know is not, some people, man, I was at a birthday party once when I think I was 20, and my friend, well, former friend, she turned 21, or was it 22? Whatever it was right around 21 or 22, and she was crying throughout her entire fabulous party. Like, it was super fun, except she's in the corner fucking crying. And I remember asking her, like, "Why are you what's wrong? Why? What's happening?" And she's like, in her head, wow, talk about the power of our thoughts. Um, she said, like, in her head, in her paradigm that is not serving her, hopefully she's over it by now, but her paradigm was like, it's all over at 21, 22. Like, it's downhill. Like, life isn't really good anymore. Like, okay, no. Yeah. Anyway, and that, lovely thought. So, and doing this work with Mary Morrissey, it's all about identifying paradigms, which oftentimes are blind. We have our blinders up to them. So, it's a really interesting exploration of paradigms and creating new ones and getting those thoughts, um, creating a new, well-worn neuronal pathway uh, to something that's working for, in this case, me, or for any of us, and letting go of the old paradigms that, we were raised in, whatever your paradigm is. I have weird shit about money. I'll just say it. I've said it before. Um, so I'm always looking for like, oh, I see a paradigm there. Like, oh, okay. And so I'm working on thinking differently. Yeah, and she works with these really old-timey books, like Think and Grow Rich, like Napoleon Hill, like yeah, and it's just fascinating, and I found myself I haven't been much of a reader lately, says the person who just wrote a book, um, but man, I'm finding myself like, "Ooh, instead of watching TV, I'm gonna break out The Power of Decision." I forget what his name is, but, these old-time guys talking about if you do things a certain way, you think a certain way, because we're connected to the infinite and infinite possibilities. So when you think a different way, you create different things in your life. You create the life you dream of. If you dare to dream, and I've met many people, um, too much to my surprise, who are afraid to even dream, afraid to even consider, wow, what would my life look like if I was living the life of my dreams, whatever that looks like to each of us. And, but man, when you allow yourself to go there, just take that step and dream a little bit. And then, yeah, anyway, I'm really grateful we're working with Mary Morrissey and her team. And, yeah, she's changing my life. And I told her right to her face, I want to be you. I don't want to take anything from you, but I want to have the impact that you have. Um, yeah. And I know she'd be rooting me, yeah, on my way. So, anyway, Okay, Art and Erica are here. Hey everyone, hope you're doing wonderful. Yeah, we get to have dinner with Art and Erica this week, and I'm very excited about that. So, okay, enough of my yakking for the moment. Let's play some theme songs. I don't think I've played any, right? So we'll start with Yvonne. Here you go.
Yvonne is in the house. Check her out.
Okay, and our next song. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Blanca, oh Blanca, thank you for showing up today. Yay!
Okay, and then we have the amazing and talented, and I'll just say energetically expansive beings who we get to swim in their soup. Well, we get to amplify our energy soup, which sounds disgusting, but I mean it in a great way. We get to, hang out soon and see what magic happens. Um, oh, but real quick, it's 11:11 on the West Coast, and wherever you are, let's make a put it out there. Put a dream out there. I dare you to put a dream out there. What do you really want? Okay. Yeah. So one of the things uh so the idea is okay, I shouldn't go into too much of this because I'll just go down a rabbit hole, but one of the things that I like a burning desire, it's not just something like, oh, that would be cool. Like a focus of mine is, well, I've said it a million, I'll keep saying it. I am on a mission. It's not just like, that sounds nice. No, I've been on this mission for a long time, but it's becoming more laser focused and it's become a real like, oh, mission. People throughout my, adult life careers, different careers, like, oh, you want your mission statement. And that's always been like, okay, whatever. And now I get it like in my cells. It's very interesting. And I believe Mary Morrissey's stuff helped um, yeah, it helped me get to that point because all of a sudden I realized like, wow, how did this happen? Anyway, um, yeah, so I am on a mission to get my book in front of millions, millions of women into the hands or eyes or whatever of millions of sensitive women's. Yeah, I want my book to get out there. I want it to go viral. I like to say I want it to go fungal because mushrooms are just so much more expansive and cool. Viral. Hello, coronavirus. Yeah, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for fungal. Yeah, so that's the focus that I've been keeping. And what's beautiful in this work is when you really have a dream, you probably don't know how to get there. Like that makes it a real dream because like, woof, it's big. Um, yeah, and it all of it is about that we're all made of infinite intelligence, energy, whatever you want to call it, God, universe, whatever. Uh, and and it's all about thinking. It all comes down to all these. They were men back in the day, uh, coming up with these or getting downloaded with, or however they got their information. Well, Henry David Thoreau was part of it, and Emerson and all that. Uh, our how we think makes all the difference. All the difference. So if you're telling yourself garbage, like I'm worthless, I'm a failure, um, I'm not important, you're gonna start seeing more of that reflected into your life, like evidence until you figure it out, until you get past it. And and this is the way we've been doing it is working with Mary. And it has been powerful. So I don't know how it will happen. I'm just learning how to put myself out there. I've been doing energy work now for 17 years, just about. Um, and I'm just learning. but that's what it's taken, on my mission here, or to get clear on my mission. And I've said before that I've wanted to help, um, women in some capacity since, well, I've been thinking of creating a book or something. I've always had the idea of like a perpetual calendar, um, that you just the word is to perpetual. If you don't know what the word perpetual is, ongoing, you can use it over and over. I would love to create something like that. I want us all to feel better, and I want to help sensitive women reclaim their magic. And how I have reclaimed mine, at least in part, is energy work. Oh. Yeah, when you help somebody not kill themselves with it, or help somebody wipe out decades of depression because you help them check into their energy and release it, it's so magical. And whew, um, and I know that what I do my own blend. I have my own magic, but I'm the only one. Like, and I believe our as sensitive women, we're sensitive for a reason. And I believe that we sensitive women have been cut off from our magic. And I've found so many ways that have helped me. Like anytime I'm upset, always in the background. Well, I have many philosophies I run through, and I work out my stuff so much faster now. But one of them is energy work. And man, just knowing that you can like be massively triggered because all of a sudden the president of the United States is somebody that represents so much horror and awfulness and inhumanity. I know you were there, but it's one of my favorite stories. Is that morning he won, and I was so devastated, and I really felt like nothing could ever be okay again. And then within moments, since I've taught myself, reminded myself, oh, duh, I know what I'm going to do with myself. I'm going to get out my pendulum, and I'm going to start just asking if there's anything bubbling up to the surface in me, asking for healing in this massive trigger of Trump. For which, and I'm so grateful to him for that. I'm not kidding. Um, yeah, because I know he's been a trigger for a lot of people. And the sad part is when you don't have tools to get curious about those triggers and peel them apart. And so then that energy is just like, fine. I can go from feeling like massive dog shit to like do 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 do. And I always know that. And some things really hit me and I sit with them longer, but always there's that voice. It's not a real voice. Um, I haven't gotten back all of my clairaudience yet, but there's that voice. It's usually over here saying, I like to say, "Oh, Muffin, we're gonna figure this out. Like as soon as you can stand it, you're gonna pick up your pendulum, and we're gonna peel it apart energetically." So that's what I share in my book. I share how I got there, and I share ways that you can too if you want. And I know I'm pretty much preaching to the choir, probably with whoever's watching, um, or will watch in the future. Yeah. So if you have any like super great ideas about getting my book to more women, or if you're willing to share your thoughts on my book with your people, your sphere of influence, if you think it would be of value, um, yeah, great. That would be wonderful. Um, yeah. So I don't need so back to the whole Mary Morrissey thing and thinking differently. It's like I have my dream, and then I get into a feeling place and I picture myself in it already. That's part of the work. And yeah, just getting into that feeling place of it's already happened and start training my brain to go to like, oh yeah, I'm already this. Oh, my book, it's I'm so happy and grateful that my book has gone fungal. I don't know how it happened. It got into the right hands. And, I'm just taking every step that I can with what I have to work with at this moment. and I'm just planting seeds, putting myself out there. As I've mentioned before, I'm doing shorts, little shorts on YouTube, and yeah, it's been really cool. And the fact that Dave is all in on all of this training as well. And yeah, when you're from personal experience, yes, I was married to a lovely man who I still care about, and I still know why we were together. And yeah, and we really loved each other, but we started growing in different directions. And what's one of the difference between what I had then and what I have now with Dave, um, because I bravely stepped into what I was completely being drawn to, Dave, even though we were both married, read about it in the book. Um, yeah, back when I was married before, like, I started, like, getting more and more into, like, self-growth and self-improvement and, like, what can I do to help myself move forward and get past at the time, it was s crippling sweaty hands, hyperhidrosis, and just always, 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 always looking for peace, that elusive peace, and doing what I do now, oh my god, it might not look like it right now, I'm crying because, well, whatever. Why are people weird about crying, including myself? It's so healthy, but anyway, um, yeah, where was I going? I don't know. I was getting into self-help type stuff, and my husband was always supportive of me doing any of it, but he was never part of it, and he was never uh, maybe terribly interested. Yeah, and then here I am in the middle of all that, taking classes in Florida, and part of them was like get past your own shit so you can be more present with your patients when I was a chiropractor. And then I meet this fellow chiropractor wearing the crazy t-shirt that I'd had a fit about because it was so ugly. And turns out he's had so much of the same personal training that I had. And we got to connect on a my glasses are wonky. We got to connect on a very different level than we did with our spouses. And now we get to do things together. Um, and it's just so magical. And in case anybody's wondering, at least last I heard, my former husband is married to somebody who he said is so much more suited for him. Duh. And they have children, which he was never going to get from me. Um, yeah. So anyway, whoo, yeah. Let's go ahead and lighten things up a little bit. And not that that wasn't light. And I have a sponsor. Um, oh, that's nice. Blanca says, "Thank you for sharing your story. I really enjoyed reading." Oh, thanks. I'm glad. Um, I've said it before, but I'm kind of fascinated that, like, so we've recorded. I recorded. I'm done with recording. Natalie, damn it. Natalie is going to come over. Natalie, who wrote my foreword, Reverend Dr. Natalie Vale, who wrote my foreword, which I think is worth the price of admission. Getting that book, my book. She's going to come over on Sunday and record the foreword, which is great because otherwise I'm talking about how great Dave and I are. Yeah, because it's her perspective. Yeah. Anyway. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so Dave is about a third of the way done with the editing and, plans to resume editing tomorrow, so I can hardly wait to, well, first of all, offer it to you and everybody, because people have been asking it for it. I think my own brother's not even buying my book. Like, he's like, "Is it gonna be an audio?" I'm much more of an audiobook person, like, "Yeah, it's coming." Anyway, family. Uh, yeah. So I can hardly wait to offer it to you, but also offer it to myself. Like, I wanna hear it. Like, there's something magic about it, and I kind of forget as I'm listening to it, I forget that it's me. Like, I enjoy the story and, "Oh, yeah, it's my story." It's the weirdest thing, and it probably sounds egotistical, but, oh gosh, well, you can believe whatever you wanna believe about me, but if you know my heart, it's not an ego thing, it's yeah, there's magic in it. Okay. And I remind myself of things when I was reading the book again and like, "Oh, yeah, I should remember to do that." And I'm so grateful that I have this, like, thing to refer back to even for myself because I don't know about you, but I have a few really precious books that I refer back to year after year, just here and there. And one's called The Life You Were Born to Live. And it's based on your birthday. It's a numerology thing. Um, I'm a 2810. Anyway, and I've had it for so many years. Like I've repurchased it because I've lent it to people and then it disappears. Um, but I look back, like say I've had it for at least, gosh, probably at least 17 years. And I look back and go like, "Oh, wow, I remember when I felt that way, and I remember when that felt like, wow, is that possible? That's supposed to be me?" And now it is. It's, like, really cool. So, I'm hoping that my book can be that for, well, whoever needs it to be. Yeah, and I also think we'll get to the sponsor in a second, but, well, I have a lot of things going on in my mind. I want people to either just hear the title, see a video, see it on Facebook, a friend talks about it, whatever it is, and have the experience that I had so many years ago. I guess it must have been 2001. If I've already said this before, I apologize, or you're welcome. Let's say, and you're welcome. I was fresh out of chiropractic school and, super excited about my new career, um, but also terrified. And I was waiting at a La Boulangerie, in Elk Grove, California. And I was waiting for my lunch, and there was just kind of a little new age guide in the rack next to me. And so I picked it up and I opened it to one page, and it was this big ad that was a women's circle of empowerment. And I remember in my mind, because no one was with me, but I was like, I need that. Like every cell in my body lit up. Um, and I joined that group. And I was in it for about a year and it changed my life. And I learned some, universal laws and principles, Native American rituals and stuff, that really changed my life. And with like with a lot of groups, it's like I graduated to the next year and then everything shifted and like I felt very controlled and weird. So it's like, okay, that this is my out. Um, and I told them when I called them to tell them I was going to be no longer in the group, a group that I loved and I so appreciated, but it was just time for me to go. I'm not a forever joiner. um, yeah, that I don't tend to yeah. I see things more as stepping stones at this point, and that was a beautiful stepping stone. And when the leaders said to me, "Well, we're sorry you couldn't hang in there," I said, "Well, you worked, Women's Circle of Empowerment. You worked your way out of a job." Because I felt so much different. I felt empowered to like, okay, this is not the right thing for me, and I feel empowered to honor me and my authority and move on. Um, yeah, but that feeling I had when I saw the ad for it, like, I need this. That's what I want people to get with my book. I want there to be something, maybe it's a review on Amazon, because all the reviews are different. And yeah, you just never know. If you do decide to put up a review or if you've tried, please try again. If it hasn't, Amazon, I don't know what their deal is, but welcome to my world. if you do feel inspired to write a review, please do. Yeah, because honestly, it's you just I want the reviews because, well, that's how the world works, but really, when I think of the reviews, I think of the people who read reviews on Amazon. I don't tend to do that a lot. Dave does. Like, I know people who really do, and you just never know by you sharing what you got or what the value you found in the book, you just never know what your words might be to somebody who really needed to hear the way you said it from your heart. So, anyway, um, okay, so, whew, well, I'm going to respond to these messages in a second, and let's go ahead and we have a returning. Oh no, I'm sorry, this is a new sponsor. It's a new book. I'm very speaking of books, I'm really excited about this one because I really do enjoy his music. I think he's a huge talent. And the new book is called Marshall, Marshall, Marshall by Eminem. Oh, this might not be a new sponsor. Bear with me. I have a lot going on. But today's sponsor, whether it's new or not, is Marshall Mathers, aka Eminem's new book, Marshall, Marshall, Marshall. Okay, so thank you. Okay. Yeah, Eminem is some old Eminem is my favorite music to listen to usually when I jump into a cold shower. So, anyway, let's get down to business. I don't got no time for okay, I won't try to say his lyrics. Okay. So Shannon, oh yeah, in Hurricane Hell, that's right. She's in Florida. She and her stuff are good, but her town is destroyed. Just popping in to send light, love and light to you all. Yeah, lots and lots of love and light to Shannon and everyone in that situation. Yeah, oof. Um, which reminds me, that I got a message from Coop this week, that his girl dog, Allie, she well, you probably don't need to hear the gruesome details, but she had a growth that basically exploded, and which I've seen so many dogs lately, like, in the last few decades, like, so many dogs have these big growths. Ugh, like, I never had a dog with a growth growing up. Um, yeah, it just makes me wonder about things. But anyway, he took her to the vet and, yeah, and she passed. And, so he's coming through it pretty good, and he won't be with us today, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, he got a gig, uh, so that's so great, and I'm always happy, when he's moving forward with, the stuff he's working on, just like all of us. Yeah. So and Blanca says, "Wow, Dr. Shannon, wishing you well." Yeah, and, Blanca said, "The review," then she said, "The review she wrote has posted." Yay, thank you. And I forget everyone who's left a review, and I'm so grateful, and bear with me if I don't remember if you left a review or not. Okay, yeah, so sending tons and tons and tons of love to Coop, and, yeah, but I think he's really been feeling his feelings and moving through the storm rather than trying to get around it. So, wow, didn't even mean to say that, Shannon. Yeah, um, but yeah, just gotta move through it, and just know, have faith that you're gonna get through on the other side, because our thoughts matter and our words matter. So, okay, all right. What else do I want to say? Let me just look. Oh, this was fun. Yeah, no matter, I know Ellen DeGeneres has gotten some bad press, and then her show ended after a gazillion years. And but man, she has a new special where she is funny and charming and awesome as ever. And I'm just going to allow her to be a multidimensional person. And I'm also going to keep an open mind about what really happened with everything with her show and all of that. And but man, it's on Netflix and it's super super funny. And just a reminder, if you also need some more funny, one of the things if I just need a laugh, I'll turn on the TV and put on, I believe is it a Prime? I think it might be on Amazon Prime. Um, Tig Notaro, Hello Again. Just so, so good. And of course, the movie, not the movie, the limited series, also on not Amazon Prime, but Freevee, which is Amazon, um, called Jury Duty. I can turn to any of those 8 episodes and be smiling so hard and laugh out loud, even if I've had a really bad day. Um, so Jury Duty. I want everyone to see Jury Duty so bad. It's so good. Anyway, so let me see. Oh, yeah, I was on a podcast last week. Yeah, and it's interesting. It's my first podcast. It's with somebody I'd met, gosh, 16 years ago, at Enlightened Warrior Camp, self-help stuff, where we walked on hot coals, hot, red hot coals, did a ropes course, a sweat lodge. I mean, just all kinds of like get past your shit stuff. And so we hadn't spoken in like 16 years, and here I am on her podcast. Yeah, so I'll let you know more about that. But what was interesting about it to me was I've just been thinking I'll be a natural going on a podcast. And first of all, before just getting set up, like there was like an app I needed to download, and there was stuff I needed to take care of that I didn't realize, which she builds in time for that because this is what she's doing full time now. And I got triggered. I got triggered. And what I didn't do, because I'm thinking, oh, like her podcast is so important, and which it is. Oh my god, my glasses, what's happening? Yeah, like, and she's like, she kind of made it clear, but I think I might have misinterpreted it. Anyway, I learned some stuff from it. But kind of like I'm not just going on to like promote my book. And so I kind of felt like I couldn't talk about my book. So I kind of felt like my hands were tied. I did mention it a little bit, but the only fucking reason I want to go on a podcast, really, at this moment, is to let people know about my book. Like, yeah, I mean, it's good to know about me too. I do energy healing sessions, which are amazing, and I want people to do that too. But like, I realized it wasn't till, yeah, well, she asked me during the podcast. I told her how I got real, like, kind of discombobulated before that. And she's like, well, why didn't you clean it up first? And I told her, well, I was worried about your time and this and that. And anyway, and afterwards, like, it didn't go the way I thought it would. Um, but I would imagine there's tons of magic in it. And if there is, I'll share it. Um, yeah. But what I really learned afterwards is like, wow, like, and this is no reflection on my friend Erin. She's amazing and very professional and great. And so, and I know she'd be happy about, like, her podcast is like, kind of how do you get past your shit? Um, yeah. And I realized, like, okay, if I'm going to be on a podcast, at least right now, um, I have to feel free to mention my book and talk about my book because I want people to know this is available. I did not write this for myself. Yeah, I benefit from it, but I did not write it for me. Trust me. If I was writing it for me alone, but I felt this urgency to some degree since like 2001. So, anyway, so I need to be able to have free reign to be myself. And yeah, and take care of myself. If I get triggered beforehand, then I'm gonna spend 5 minutes, and take care of it. If it happens on my show, I take care of it right away. And I love having the free reign of doing whatever the fuck I want on my show. Um, yeah. So anyway, I learned a lot from it. So I'm so grateful for it. I hope there's enough awesome. Well, you know what it is? It's um, human vulnerability and two people who are working on their stuff talking for an hour. So I hope it turns out good. So that being said, I am on another podcast where the recording is happening on Friday. Um, and she's a chiropractor, and she's the same kind that Dave is, an AK chiropractor. And she's doing this brave thinking with me. That's where we met. And so and built into me being on her podcast, we're allowing an extra half hour before to do some brave thinking work before we even do the podcast. So I'm excited about that. And I'll make sure that we're on the same page about, you know, me sharing my book. My book is my life. I mean, that sounds weird. My life is wrapped up in this book. This book is personal stories about my life. So, like, I'm sharing it for a reason. Ugh. Yeah, and every so often I think, "Oh god, is my landlord, who is an older Hispanic gentleman, is he gonna read it? And is he gonna learn about me making peace with my vagina?" That's, a little weird, but I have to get over it. Um, okay, blah, blah, blah. I think I've covered everything that I was gonna talk about. Whew. Thanks for listening for 42 minutes. Good lord. Okay, how about we do some magic and yeah. And of course, as always, if you would ever like to do an energy healing session, or if you're considering or wondering, if we would be a fit, or you have any questions or concerns, send me a message. Go to my website, or if you have my phone number, go ahead and text me. That's the quickest way to get my attention. Anyway, energyhealingwithcolleen.com. I would love to talk to you. Even if you don't schedule a session, I would love to talk to you. So, okay. Yeah. So, oh, something just caught my eye. Oh, this just in. You're awesome. Just in case you needed to hear it. Yeah. Ooh, okay. So, let's go ahead and do some magic. Yeah. And let me find. So, oh, we already did that. Wow. Okay, this is the perfect time for what's next. A grounding. I could use a grounding. I don't know about you. So, I'm going to ground from my heart because I'm really feeling like I'm in my heart space. So, the color in some schools of thought as the heart chakra is green, and the heart chakra is super, 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 super powerful. I think there's an extra super in there. Super, 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 super powerful. So, if you want to play along, so focus, close your eyes if you can, be comfortable, just relax, let everything else go for the moment. So put your focus on your beautiful, beautiful, powerful heart space that's connected to source, just like the rest of us. And we're going to expand that beautiful, loving, inclusive, expansive, beautiful heart energy out, 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 out. Ultimately, it'll just continue to go out indefinitely. Okay, and that includes we're sending some of that energy down, or we're sending that energy down to beautiful Gaia, Mother Earth, and planting deep, deep, or creating deep, deep, deep roots, allowing her to support us as we open up our crown chakras and allowing the cosmic energy to flow through and meet up with Gaia energy, creating an interface through us of heaven and earth. Okay. So, um, so if anybody watching live, if there's something you want to ask about, like if something pops in your head, like an emotion to work on, or something you've got going on, or something in general, let me know. And if not, that's cool. I'll just see where this takes us. Um, and in the meantime, I'm getting out my pendulum, and let's see if there's any stuck souls or dead people. And trust me, if you've got somebody dead with you, and I don't even think you have to be that sensitive. If you notice you're not feeling like yourself, or life just all of a sudden doesn't feel okay, um, maybe even feeling things you don't ordinarily feel, or you're feeling things you might know how to feel, but it doesn't make sense at the moment. Chances are you have a stuck soul with you, a dead person who didn't move on to the light. They need a little something else before they can move on to their next step. So, uh, yeah, I have so many stories about dead people, but we'll leave it at that. So I'm inviting any stuck souls with anybody watching now or in the future. If you need an exit strategy, meaning an escort in my good friend, my dead person go to guy, Jesus, um, come on down. So we put out the call. So my name is Colleen. Yes. Are there any dead people that are ready to move on to the light? With anybody watching now or in the future? Yep. This is safe and appropriate from the light for them to move on. Yes. And Jesus, you are our best escort. Yep. Are we ready? We are. So give us a moment. Okay. All right, Jesus, have you successfully taken these deceased people home to the light? Yay! That's a yes. Okay, so, all right, well, I'm not seeing anybody making any comments, so we're just going to see what happens here. So it's safe and appropriate from the light to go ahead and do some energy work for the group watching now in the future. Yep. So there's something on my master menu. Yep. Okay. All right. And if you have read my book, man, I hope you are interested in the energy work part. And it's not for me to, uh, that's just what I want. That's just what I want. I'm just saying it. I hope if you're creating your own master menu and you're starting to play with it. Yeah, it's hard for me to even imagine. Yeah, I trip out sometimes. Like, I'm not even sure what year did I start making this master menu. I mean, it's obviously been well over a decade, and and I play with the idea. Sometimes when I'm feeling a little stuck, I think about, like, different times in my life that, like, wow, something happened that day and everything changed. And so you just never know when that day is gonna be or when that time is gonna be. And, I didn't know I was about to meet the love of my life when I went to Clearwater, Florida for that seminar. I had no idea. I didn't know I was even looking for him, but I was. I guess that's why well, okay, we don't need to go down that rabbit hole. Anyway, and I just think of, like, ooh, like, you just never know, but be open to the magic that can always be just around the corner. And the more you expect magic, the more you're training your energy to create more magic. Just saying. Okay, so we're gonna do something on my master menu. Yes. This is in column A. Yes. In an odd numbered row. No. Okay. This is in row 2. 4. My answers are getting tiny. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 14 is message. Okay. So let me whine a little bit about, like, oh, getting messages is hard. Okay, it doesn't have to be hard. I just have to have my little tantrum. Okay, so somebody has a message for the group. Yep. Okay. Is it one of these guys? No. Is it one of these guys? Yes. So an ascended master, that's my code. Okay. This is a female ascended master? No. This is a male ascended master? Yes. Okay. This is an archangel? No. Okay. So this is a male ascended master. Yes. This is Jesus, Buddha, Lao Tzu, Osiris, Ganesh. Oh, Ganesh is our winner. Okay, so Ganesh, I always think of him as the remover of obstacles, and I've said it a million, but I'm going to say it again. It's one of my favorite Simpsons lines from way back. Um, yeah, so Homer is in the Quickie Mart, and Apu has to tell Homer. So there was a big Ganesh statue somewhere in the Quickie Mart, and Apu had to tell Homer, "Please do not feed my god a peanut." Anyway, yeah. And while we're here, my other favorite Simpsons line was in the episode where I guess Homer hurts his back, is it? And then he like falls backwards like over a trash barrel and he fixes his back. Or no, maybe he hurts his back that way, then he goes to a chiropractor. Whatever. The point is, I apologize, but I have to get this out. The point is, he's at the chiropractor, and the chiropractor says, and this used to really upset me until I was like, okay, this is kind of comical. It's like the whole thing, like, okay, come back and see me 3 times a week, indefinitely, or for the rest of your life, or something like that. Yeah. And that kind of chiropractic, man, my first chiropractor, when we got in that accident, he had us right after the accident. He had us coming in 5 days a week, and it was also part of a lawsuit. So, and I had med pay. So, yeah. But that might sound excessive, but really, it's kind of like the work Dave and I are doing. It's immersive. It's immersive. And so I was immersed in chiropractic care, hardcore, for several weeks. And as a result, I healed quickly from my car accident. And what I didn't expect was getting past my horrible Sacramento allergies that just kind of, it's like most people have. When I first started feeling them, I went home from work one day because I was convinced I had the flu. And then it's like, oh shit, this is allergies. They feel just as shitty. Anyway, I'm all over the place, and I can't believe I'm still talking 53 minutes later, but here we are. Okay, so that being said, we have a message from Ganesh. So, Ganesh, are you with us? Yeah. Okay, Ganesh, you come from the light, come from the light, come from the light. Yes. Come from the dark, come from the dark, come from the dark. Nope. Okay, so you have a message. Okay, do I need any conscious information first? Nope. Okay, am I ready to receive this message? Okay. Whew, give me a moment. I'm going to put something pretty up so I don't feel quite as self-conscious. Oh, this is something for us all to keep in mind. So give me a moment. Okay. All right. So, Ganesh. So basically, um, what I got. So, Ganesh, do you believe that I heard you correctly? That's a guess. Okay. Well, I'll check again after I give the message. So speaking of remover of obstacles, Ganesh, yeah, so basically what I got was that his message was about that We might see other things outside of ourselves as obstacles to our success or happiness or whoever's the president or the laws or the all the stuff. But really, it's all an inside job. Um, and so, to use some Mary Morrissey language, um, basically, we are the obstacle to anything that's happening in us because we are the creators. We are the co creators with Source. We are the co creators of our lives. So, what kind of life are you creating? Are you creating a life of being sick? Are you creating a life of poverty? Are you creating a life of, people don't like, you feel like people don't like you? Or, I mean, I can list a million things. Um, so Mary Morrissey, she talks about, yeah, what would you love? What would your life be like? What would you absolutely love? And then one of her tools is you start noticing what you're noticing and just get good at that. Like that's a lifetime thing. You just get better and better at noticing what you're noticing. Are you noticing that, oh fuck, I'm like putting myself down a lot? Or, notice the language you use. And it's like you might not even realize until you make an agreement with yourself to start noticing what you're noticing. Notice what you're saying to yourself. Notice how you view the world. Do you view the world as a scary, unfair place? Well, then there's something to look at within yourself. It really is an inside job. And when you realize that, life just gets so much more expansive and interesting, um, instead of living at the effect of, well, as Mary says, circumstances. And your circumstances, whatever's happening, whatever any of us have in our lives, that's a result of what we've created. Yeah. And we all have things we don't love that we've created. And so you start paying attention to how you're thinking about it. Start creating a new thought. Get past your own obstacles. And then the obstacles outside start being reflected back because that's how the law works, laws of the universe. So the world is a mirror. And the more beauty you see, I think that just reflects your beauty and the beauty in you. But anything that's reflected back that really gets to you, that's something that's inside you that can be worked on. Read the book. Okay, so Ganesh, did I cover that enough? Yeah, the main point was, the remover of obstacles, and he's helping you to notice that the obstacles are within ourselves. So just tons and tons and tons and tons of magic is available when we start looking at things differently and reading these like old timey, like from the 30s and 40s, if not 20s, like talking about Andrew Carnegie, way back in the day. Um, yeah, it's all about our thinking. It starts with our thinking. Anyway, okay, so Ganesh, did I do a good enough job there? Yes, thank you. So we're complete with you. Thank you. Okay. Let's just see. Wow, it's almost been an hour. Thanks for hanging in there. And yeah, is there something else we can do for the group today to maybe help us get past our own inner obstacles? Yeah. Okay. And I just want to say that when you realize that life is an inside job, you might think, "Oh, fuck, then I have to fucking, like, work harder to figure out my shit." Well, I would suggest taking on think of it as an exploration. Like, like, let it get your attention, like, "Ooh, I'm really mean to myself. Ooh, I bet I could do better with that." Yeah, it's just like well, some of us think stuff like this is fun. If you don't, I understand, but just know there are different ways to consider life, and then life changes. Even if the people around you aren't changing, well, everything kind of changes when you change. But anyway, I feel like I've said too much. Okay, not really. Okay, so there's something else we can do for the group real quick. Okay, watching now and in the future. Yes, this is on my master menu. Yes, this is in column A. No, in column B. Yes, in an odd numbered row. Yes, in row 1, 3. Okay, the ever popular shared chakra. This is a shared chakra, a shared first chakra, second, third, fourth, fifth, fifth, no, sixth, seventh. Okay, so a shared, so let's do that again. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, okay, fifth. Okay, so throat chakra. Okay, so we're looking for, we're going to release entanglements that we have with our throat chakras with another person or whatever that energy is entangled with. I'm open to it being whatever. Um, okay, so it's safe and appropriate to disentangle our fifth chakra energies. Anybody who needs it, watching now or in the future. Yes, it's safe and appropriate from the light. Are we ready? Here we go. And if you're playing with energy work at all, I would highly recommend, even I don't mention it in the book, but I highly recommend putting it on your, if you hear me say something or hear not just me, but anybody say something, whether it's energy related or not, if you get an idea, put it on your master menu. And then if it shows up, see what, explore it. It's so much fun, like for realsies. Yeah, and having a master menu, it's like you're establishing with the universe, like what the universe has to guide you toward directly, to help create energetic openings for healing and expansion and all the good stuff. Yeah, I'm on a mission. Okay, so do we successfully separate, disentangle our fifth chakra energies? Yes. Okay. Is that a good place to stop? Yeah. Okay. So I just want to say I love you, like for reals. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for watching or listening or whatever you do. I so appreciate you, and I'm always wishing you well in your exploration of this whole life thing. And yeah, I hope I have some, well, I will have some good news about my audiobook. Hopefully it'll be done in the next couple weeks. Yay. Anyway, I love you. Thank you. If I can be of any service to you, energyhealingwithcolleen.com. And I'll see you next week, I hope. So, oh, and so this new thing is happening where it's like, oh, an automatic intro and outro. So I'm going to end the stream, and hopefully that takes care of the outro with my beautiful theme song. Let's find out.
You are magic, magic. We are magic. Magic Mondays with Colleen.